So, on your screens, you should now see in front of you a large sign saying, who are the main actors? Well, who do you think are the main actors? There are obviously many involved in VET and multi-level governance, and this report can't do justice to all the actors, but yesterday in the workshops you identified some of the principal characters involved. At the government level, the ministries of education, labour, finance and economics are central to the debate. However, this is not the sole domain of the national level, no. Civil servants at the regional and local level working in these fields are also included. Governments also play a role as employers, with hundreds and thousands of people across Europe having government jobs, including many of those sitting in this room, I would imagine. Private organisations are also employers, both businesses and non-governmental organisations. Another important group of actors are the beneficiaries of VET, the unemployed, students, their long-suffering parents, and society as a whole. Of course, other actors are the VET providers, the schools and teachers who work in them, training colleges and university professors and others. Finally, an important actor in VET are the unions. Trade unions that also include teachers' unions seem to be very active in this field. Now, there is an important caveat when it comes to working with all these actors within the multi-level governance system. You said in the workshops yesterday that identifying actors is a political process. You also said yesterday that all these actors share a common need. They all need capacity building and support to carry through multi-level governance. Well, now that we know who some of the actors are, we can look at some of the principal challenges they face. Yesterday, you identified hundreds of challenges. Not many solutions, but certainly lots of challenges. Cooperation was seen by many of you as being a particular challenge. Both vertically and horizontally, the different actors have problems cooperating. National and regional governments, governments with stakeholders, business with public bodies, and even ministries with other ministries. Cooperation is so difficult that even education and labour don't talk to each other. This, of course, is not good news for policies. When it comes to making policies, governments don't find it easy to consult other stakeholders. Formal consultation platforms feel like window dressing and have no teeth. Transparency in policy making and who should take the initiative is obviously a challenge. Of course, moving from policy to legislation and, heaven help us, to implementation is a challenge of almost inconceivable dimensions. Which brings us to the challenge of governments. Centralized and inflexible, uncomfortable with transparency, and holding on too tightly to the reins of power rather than sharing control are just some of the challenges you identified. How to communicate with and listen to stakeholders is not so much a challenge, but rather unfamiliar territory. Given all this, it may seem amazing that anything gets done, but you did identify challenges related to implementation. Here, the accountability of the various VET actors is seen as being problematic. Also, the actors have very different structures, decision-making processes, ways of working, etc., that impede implementation. The situation in each country is also different, as can be seen from the diversity of legal frameworks. However, there are also common challenges, such as the empowerment of non-governmental stakeholders. Now, many of these stakeholders are found in the labour market. Here, the principal challenges are in identifying the needs and demands of the market, not just for today, but also for tomorrow. Unemployment, the lack of entrepreneurs, and the disengagement of business in VET all produce labour market challenges. And this means there is a mismatch between what the markets need and what VET provides. VET faces its own challenges, with this sector experiencing a complex and changing environment. New tools, the changing role of teachers, and ensuring the quality of VET are all challenges. A traditional response to all these challenges is to throw money at the problem. Yes! However, decreasing budgets for VET and the challenges of financing regional and local authorities make this response untenable. We have lots and lots of challenges. But don't lose heart, because there are plenty of benefits for pursuing a multi-level governance approach. Multi-level governance approaches to cooperation produce beneficial partnerships, both horizontally and vertically. They can help create mechanisms for this cooperation. A specific benefit identified was the creation of regional structures that bring universities, employers, and regional authorities together to cooperate on particular sectors such as IT or engineering. The labour market also benefits from multi-level governance, as the identification of market growth can inform VET, as was the case in Croatia with the tourism industry. Through multi-level governance, structural reforms are enabled to meet market needs, and VET students get and retain jobs. The mismatch between VET and the market becomes a match. For VET, the benefits of a multi-level governance approach can be seen in the increasing relevance of VET, which is now demand-driven. Student numbers increase, and there is more diversity in the profile of students choosing to go into VET. A clear benefit also comes from the closer ties with business, including the supply of equipment and funding for VET institutions. In the policy field, multi-level governance results in targeted policies that lead to better and more efficient public spending. For the government, a clear benefit of multi-level governance is the improved communication with stakeholders, which in turn results in more political support for VET. A direct benefit is the increased subsidiarity, leading to more flexible and autonomous regional actors. Finally, for implementation, the benefits of a multi-level governance approach are decisions on qualifications being made at the appropriate level. There is also likely to be increased accountability, with contracts being made at the right level between suppliers and contractors who can ensure the terms of reference are adhered to. Well, what a journey. Chris has shown us the actors, has illustrated the challenges, and illuminated the benefits. But where does this all take us? What are the next steps? On cooperation. Next step, to coordinate business processes, financing, and quality in VET. On policies, to actively include stakeholders in policy dialogues. For government to share responsibility with and clarify the roles of different actors, including those at the regional and local levels. Implementation. Countries are at different levels, and therefore there is an ongoing need to build capacity and advocate for multi-level governance. Labour markets. Focus on end users. Tailor the VET to the markets. And in VET itself, a lot of you wanted a next step to empower school managers, give schools more autonomy. And who's driving all of this?